In Health Watch, the World Health Organization is launching a review into the impacts of plastic on our health. This comes after a study revealed that more than 90% of some of the most popular bottled water brands contain tiny plastic particles. 259 bottles were analyzed from 11 different brands across 9 countries.
Of those 259 bottles, only 17 did not contain tiny plastic particles. Concentrations were as high as 10,000 plastic pieces per liter of water. David Shookman from our partners at BBC News reports.
Bottles of water are a feature of everyday life around the world. But new tests commissioned by journalists at Orb Media have discovered something unexpected: tiny particles of plastic in the water. At this lab in New York State, tests were carried out on more than 250 bottles. A special kind of dye was added that's known to stick to pieces of plastic.
Under certain wavelengths of light, it causes them to sparkle like stars in a night sky.
On average per litre, there were 10 large particles, each larger than the width of a typical human hair and confirmed as being plastic. Smaller particles were also found, on average 314 per litre. They weren't confirmed, but were probably plastic. At the moment, there are no rules covering these microplastics or any agreed way of checking for them.
It's an indication that we should be concerned. It's not catastrophic, the numbers that we're seeing, but it's concerning. And especially if you look at then, if you're drinking only bottled water and you do this every day over, a year, you're literally talking thousands of pieces of plastic that you're ingesting just simply from the bottled water that you're drinking.
We contacted all the companies involved. Nestlé told us to date we have not found microplastic compounds beyond a trace level in our products. Danone, which owns Evian, said of the study that the methodology used is unclear and that there were no rules on microplastics. Coca-Cola, which makes Dasani, said that microplastics seem to be everywhere and therefore may be found at minute levels even in highly treated products. This is the first time that bottled water has been tested for plastic on this scale. 11 different brands bought in 9 different countries. And in almost every case, the researchers have found some plastic. So the big question is what this might mean for our health. The Food Standards Agency says it's unlikely that microplastics could cause harm. But the World Health Organization now wants to review the evidence. And scientists say more research is needed.
As we become more aware of the prevalence of microplastics and the potential harm that they might cause, I think we need to start thinking now about how we can reduce those inputs so that we're not stoking up a huge problem for the future.
The advice, where water supplies are dirty, is that bottled water is far safer. But this study does raise questions about where plastic can end up and whether the tiniest pieces could affect our health. David Shookman, BBC News in New York State.